And we are live. All right, welcome to P2G News in the Afternoon.
Yes,
Today
yes, yes.
we are coming to you with a literally some live information about what the heck is happening to the American dollar and GDP, whatever the heck that is.
Gross
So I'm
domestic product.
I know, sweetheart. Okay, so I'm Ruby Thomas, and I'm coming to you live to share with you some information about what is happening. And then I'm not going to be the one to tell you. I am here to help get this information out. And guess who I got with me? I have in our presence today some amazing, awesome thinkers as well as doers, the guys who teach people how to make it happen. Let's start with our brother, HUTCHIN D, who has been blowing up the Bankers Club spot for like ever. God help us all.
Hi, y'all. It's your main man, Hutchin D, aka HD, coming to you live. One member of the Bankers Club in the building. Make sure you guys tune in Rap Crypto tonight.
That's right. Don't miss it.
Yes, indeed.
Telling folks, you better not miss that. You're going to be in trouble. All right. Now, everybody, no matter who you look up to, has a mentor. And there's somebody in their life that makes them think on the next level. Myself, and I'm glad that you all like to share time with me and information, but I get this from somewhere. And there's a brother right here that really inspires me to the next level all the time. His name is BTC King, and this brother is putting it down out here when it comes to this crypto, United States too. Yeah. Okay. All the way from here to motherland, we got Brother D Dunkin up in here of BTC King.
Thank you so much for inviting me here today. It's an honor, and just glad to be here with y'all.
That's what's up. We happy to have you on. I know those hours are really crazy. I be trying to get him on the stream. It's like 8 hours difference, dude. We can't help it. But you know, whenever we can, we're going to get you on. Now, y'all probably asking why y'all up there on, why we up at a weird time in the afternoon. Let's talk about it, Mr. Gold Banker over here. That's my partner, also known as Boo.
Yes. This is Alvin Thomas, the Gold Banker, coming at you 1 gram at a time. Oh, today is the day we need to talk about. It's some real hot stuff. You know,
Yeah. Times are changing, my sisters and brothers. Times are changing.
No, they've changed.
We've been talking about this flip for some time. So we tried to tell y'all it was coming, and it done showed it reared its ugly head. Not like it ain't did this before, but it's a little bit different, y'all, ain't it? A little different than the last 2 times, right?
You got a little bit of mustard on that.
I've been here for less than 50 years, so I only seen it happen twice.
Well,
so y'all want to give them some more information? Let's not be too vague. Let's start with Hutch D's video. I'm going to share that with you guys right now. Something that he put up, and then we'll go off that. That's
brother D Dunkin's video. I just copy it.
He recopied. Perfect. D Dunkin. I copied it from Hutch. See, that's what I'm talking about. We got good roots, y'all. We got good roots. I told you when somebody's a mentor. It's gonna come. All right, here we go. I'm gonna share this screen, and we're gonna replay this video, but I gotta get it in a position that y'all can actually see it. All right, cool. Gotta do it on the Facebook. I know you're gonna force me to do it this way.
Likely exhaust its extraordinary measures by October 18th.
Now we gonna break down the English on this.
It is imperative
Can
that
y'all hear
Congress
this?
address the debt limit. If not, our current estimate is the Treasury will likely exhaust its extraordinary measures by October 18th. At that point, we expect Treasury would be left with very limited resources that would be depleted quickly. America would default for the first time in history. The full faith and credit of the United States would be impaired, and our country would likely face a financial crisis and economic recession as a result. We must address this issue to honor commitments made by this and prior Congresses, including those made to address the health and economic impact of the pandemic. It's necessary to avert a catastrophic event for our economy. Senators, the debt ceiling has been raised or suspended 78 times since 1960, almost always on a bipartisan basis. My hope is that we can work together to do so again and to build a stronger American economy for future generations. Thank you, and I'm pleased to take your question.
What? First of all, I gotta ask my brother some questions. How do you raise the debt ceiling? How do you raise? Is that like getting more credit when you already owe 125% of what you got going on?
That sounds about right.
First off, let's talk about. You should talk about who's that person speaking. The chairman that's speaking, Janet Yellen.
Miss Janet Yellen.
Janet Yellen is she's head of the Department of Treasury for the U.S. government, and these are the people
Do
that.
You need to say anything more than that?
These are the people that control all the cash in the United States. They're responsible for paying off the interest payments for. Notice what I said: the interest payments. The government.
The fictitious money interest loans.
Yeah. So most people don't know that the situation that we're in. When you have this person, the head of the Treasury, come out and make these types of announcements.
Exactly.
They didn't do this the last time. And the last time they didn't do this the last time. The last time was last year? And in 2019 it was. So this is a bit different because you're talking about raising a debt to the tune of that's already $28 trillion.
Yes. Okay. So let me put this up like I said I would.
Yeah. The U.S. government is in debt to the tune of $28 trillion with a T, $1 trillion. And it's growing second by second. And the government, the Congress, and Janet Yellen is asking to raise that $28 trillion by another $3.5 trillion. Not billion, not million, not 100,000, trillion dollars.
So while we were speaking, it just went up $1 million. So I don't think $3 trillion is gonna do it. Wow. It's about to hit another 2. That's $2 trillion, and we only been talking for less than 2 minutes.
It's moving that fast, and there's no plan in place to bring that $28 trillion balance down to zero.
So I want to try to do something because what happens is when we talk about this, people don't understand how this counts for them. Like, how does that affect me? And it's like, because most people are in it like, oh, it's not hitting my door. So are you kidding me? The United States counts your money too, boo-boo. Yeah. And all that they own. GDP includes everything you got in your bank account.
Yep.
That goes for all the federal retirements, all the people on government assistance. That go for everybody, you know, especially all the federal workers. Like, I know my mother-in-law, she's a federal worker. My father-in-law is a principal. I'm a local government worker. Brother Al's a state government worker. My wife is a school teacher. All our retirements are tied up into this debt ceiling. And guess what? When the clock runs out, nobody has a retirement.
There you go. And this is what people don't seem to want to get. They go, oh, my dollar, this. I'm like, I really don't want to argue with you. The facts are the facts. I'm looking at math. I'm looking at the actual secretary. Oh, God. I'm like, guys, these are people who control the money telling you we need to raise more debt. We need to get a loan. We need a new loan. This is like you guys have let's say you have a house and your mortgage comes due. And you go back to the bank, and the bank, you have to get more money from the bank to say the first loan, and you're expecting the bank to give you more money, and you already owe them over 100, and let me just make sure we look at this. That says 100 now. U.S. federal debt to GDP, gross. What was it, y'all? Gross domestic product.
Yeah,
That really just means what we're worth compared to
Yep.
what we owe.
correct.
Is 125% up. We owe up to 125% more than we're worth.
Right. So that people understand this from a banking perspective or personal perspective,
Thank you.
we have a debt to income ratio when we go and borrow money from a lending institution, bank, financial institution, right? So normally, when you're trying to borrow money from a financial institution, banks like to see between a 35 max 45% debt to income ratio, meaning you don't have more than 35 to 45% of your
Sounds like
income
a credit card to me.
held in the debt, right? Okay, so if you look at what's happening with America, right, and you look at gross domestic product, it means that the debt is higher than the income to the tune of 125% when it's supposed to be only 35 to 45% of the overall debt. Just to put that into perspective, and for people that have never heard of the word gross domestic product, it means GDP or gross domestic product is the total monetary or market value of all the finished goods and services produced within a country's borders in a specific time period. That's what GDP stands for.
Come on, y'all.
So there's more debt than there is productivity coming out of the U.S.
Yeah.
We already outsource so much of our own product. So how do we maintain when we're actually operating? Prior to even looking at this number, Americans should have known, or at least I think they should have known, we were operating outside of our current parameters. We've outsourced all our major corporations.
But who would know that?
Outsourced all our manufacturing to other countries.
Who would know that? Who in the average working person would know this? Most people are too busy trying to pay their bills, trying to get a loan to keep their homes, trying to, but at the same time, I hate to say it, but we've been telling y'all about crypto. This is not a I told you so. This is a get your ass in gear. And I don't care who don't like what I just said. Start today, because this is not going to be beautiful in the next month when it's winter and you're losing your home because it belongs to someone you don't know, someone that may not even live in this country, may own your place of living. That's
a fact. Or if you work at a federal job right now, you may not be getting no paycheck for Christmas.
Yes. You get to go to work without a check until they say we've gotten shit together and we can pay you. Excuse my language, y'all. Look, this is just disturbing because how many people this is going to affect is frightening. But how many people know about this is even worse, y'all. Right. It's even worse because we've been caught up in this whole who's vaxxed, who's not vaxxed, while finances are being kindly slipped away.
Funneled.
It's true.
Funneled away. Can you imagine waking up one morning? Now, which unvaxxed person are you going to blame for waking up and not being able to access your retirement funds?
Or they get vaporized when the crash happens in the market.
Oh, God. So I got to ask a question. You go, well, I got lots of cash stacked at home. It's under my pillow. Guess what? That cash is covered by this thing you talking about right here, this debt clock. That's what covers that. And when it ain't worth nothing, neither of those pieces of paper. Oh, no. Ask our sisters and brothers in Venezuela. Yeah, they had to go, and at some point it was that they used the weight of those bills to get a loaf of bread. Are we kidding me?
This thing right here is about to make the Great Depression look like a cakewalk.
Yes, it is. Ooh. It was just the beginning.
Good one, Hutch. Yeah.
Yes. And we're not out here. We don't want people jumping off buildings.
No.
We
But
don't
they
want
might.
people thinking there's no alternative, which is why we all come to you and share with you an alternative financial stream that you can use that's independent, that no one else controls but you.
Mhm.
And the many people who have accounts just like you and decide to do business as free people. Hello. Because unfortunately, all of that's tied into somebody you gave permission to run the show. Come on, somebody. This ain't an advertisement. This is a wake-up call.
Look, there's some realities going on right here, and look, I happened to look at the letter today that Janet Yellen wrote, the Speaker of the House.
Those were nice words.
Huh?
Those were nice words.
Those were nice words that she wrote in the letter, but it was the letter paled compared to looking at this on Front Street. She said, we are concerned about being able to maintain the debt of the United States and keeping the country running. Literally, that's what the letter said in plain layman's terms. We may not be able to fund the United States after the 18th of the month.
Oh, the 18th have come and gone in October. Oh, it's October, right?
October.
October. So we've got the 18th. She's asking them to make a decision to go into more debt. They want to raise this by 3 trillion more.
My question is, and
we're still ticking toward it already.
I'm a layman. I'm very much a layman when it comes to some of this, and I know some things. But how do you get more debt when you owe debt? You're exceeding your debt at 125%. Where else are you going to get it from? You already borrowed from everyone you said your dollar is backing. And if your dollar was backing and the dollar fades, where's it coming from?
They said Trump was the ultimate guy.
The Treasury Department, along with the Federal Reserve, control the currency, right? And the OCC. So
yes,
they have to get approval. They, meaning the Treasury Department, has to get approval from Congress to increase the debt limit. So every time you do that, it's like the house is on fire, right? And the house doesn't have any water to put the fire out. So instead of putting the fire out with water and bringing down the debt, they keep adding logs. They keep adding logs. They keep adding kerosene and gasoline to the fire, so it grows bigger and bigger every time this happens, right?
And the sad part is scary is you said every time this happens.
Because this is not the first time.
How many times did she say since 1960?
78.
78 times.
I was close.
My question is you think they can pull it off?
They're going to do it. They're not going to pull it off. They're going to do it. And unfortunately, the people.
Why D? Now that's what I would see. I was waiting for D. Why now? You said this before. This has never been done.
You got a lot of situations going on. You have COVID, where people are still out from work. The government still has to issue stimulus checks to those people to keep them afloat. You have municipalities not collecting rent from commercial properties like not banks, but all the commercial buildings that have big companies in them. Most of them are empty. So now you have states, cities, and towns that have empty buildings where those buildings supply revenue to the city to run the police department, run the fire department, run the utility, all the utilities, all of those types of things. So you've created an economic environment where states are now dependent on the federal government to subsidize them because all of the commercial buildings, most of them, are empty, right? So what happens when, I said this on my broadcast earlier, when the federal government defaults on their debt, their credit rating, the U.S. government's credit rating decreases, right? So they're not able to borrow the amount of money that they once were before. Right? So now if you default and a state like California calls the federal government and says, "Hey, we need X amount of dollars."
Can't do it. Where we
Can't do
getting it from?
Now, to put that into scope, most people don't know this. The state of California is the 8th, could be between 6th or 8th largest economy in the world. So if California can't get federal subsidy from the U.S. government,
Come on,
right,
y'all.
you think about this. All of the properties, all of the apartment complexes, all of the commercial buildings that this COVID thing has hit, and they can't get that money from the federal government, what happens to the state of California? And that's just one state.
Mm-hmm.
We still got 49 other ones.
Mhm.
There we go.
We're going back to the day of Grizzly
We
Adams.
have to
Everybody
start
walking it.
thinking on a higher level, on a higher plane here. We don't think in a way. Most of us are just trying to get through our day. Sweetheart, you ain't got a day if you wake up in the morning and your bank account is empty and your rent is due.
Yeah.
And then you can't go to work because your job, it can no longer even pay you.
Right.
I want you to think about the banks. But see,
Right.
the last crash we had what's called a bailout of the banks.
Which raised us to the 28 trillion that we're at.
Guess what? There's no bank bailout. There's no money. There's no money.
You know,
What good is it for the banks if can't nobody get none?
Now, Hutch. Now, let me ask you a question because I'm just sitting here thinking back because you know there's been a lot of transition in a lot of legalese around social reform that relates to incarcerated individuals. We're going right to. We went from convict to inmate to what was it? Detainees.
Yes.
People now they're down to incarcerated residents.
What?
Somehow I get the feeling, and this is just my personal opinion, there's going to be a mass exodus from every correctional facility out because they're not going to be able to maintain them.
That's from all the school systems are going to be able to close because, like right now in Springfield, Ohio, there's a shortage in substitutes. There's a shortage in substitute teachers all across America right now.
Oh, that's being created.
You look.
That's being created. No, I'm serious. That's being created by the Biden administration directly with this new mandatory vaccination.
Well, there's an injunction in place to prevent it right now. There's an injunction in place, and it's funny. The injunction's in place till October 12th, sometime around there. Let me look at my camera.
I'm just gonna share something with you.
They're playing in October a lot.
Look, there's a lot in October. And anybody wonder what happens in October?
I'm sorry, it's October 12th. They were talking about it. They got to go back to court on the 12th.
October 1st, the new fiscal year. Just October 18th, the new ceiling.
The new money. The centralized bank for decentralized currency. What is it?
CBDC.
Back to decentralized currency. CBDC.
Yeah, central bank.
I guarantee the 18th is going to hit the market like a ton of bricks.
Oh,
every bank is going to flip over.
What can we do? What can we do? We're not here just to share with you the gloom and doom of the reality. See, because this is one of the reasons why we came on. I had to come on because even if this gets replayed, you need to watch it. You need to share it. You need to have your kids, your grandparents, all the people you know in your neighborhood watching this stream, watching this replay, because it'll give you some idea of where to go. Not just go, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. I'm going to show you how to get an umbrella, okay? And how to get it. I'm getting a Teflon umbrella. Right?
You're going to need it.
And we're going to walk that walk. But you know what? It's going to take you guys to get in the game to start realizing it doesn't matter what you believe about crypto. You got to learn about what it's about. I don't work in crypto and do what I do in crypto as a belief system. I do it as an alternative to a financial situation my life got dealt.
Yeah.
I found a way out of being impoverished. I don't know about y'all, but my life is full because I feel it, and you get to do the same. So what's available? What can they do? What can folks in this situation do? Or is everybody just damned to hell? You know, say what you gotta say. Are we all going to Africa with D?
Look,
I mean, I know, brother Duncan. Like he said, the 2008 scandal. He was preparing. I know I was too. I was a junior in high school at that time. My parents lost our house during the market crash. It made me come more financial wellness when I came an adult. Now I'm 30. I'm about to be 32 next month. And that was like what 2008 was like almost 12, 14 years ago now.
Come on.
So basically, I have 14 years of learning to get myself and my family prepared for what's about to take place.
And I think we all realize we've run out of time, or a lot of time for just waiting and watching. Go ahead, D. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, you know, a lot of this stuff is cyclical, right? It's just the question that we have to ask is, what are we giving our attention to? What are we paying attention to, right? Are we paying attention to what really matters economically to our family? You know, it's interesting when you post stuff like this on Facebook, like the Janet Yellen video. There's very low viewers that watch the video because it's not Lil Baby.
It's not trending.
It's not Kim Kardashian or Kanye West or somebody like that. It's you really have to want to know what's going on, right? A lot of this stuff, I'll be honest, politically doesn't affect us, but when they start talking about the debt ceiling, that does affect us because when the Fed cannot issue more loans because of the debt that the U.S. is already in, that has a trickle down effect. So that means that at some point you may be wanting to go to your ATM machine or stand in the teller line at a bank, and you say, "I want to pull out $10,000." They're gonna look at you like, "Can you come back next week?"
Yep.
And then you come back next week. I want that $10,000. Can you come back 2 weeks from now?
Yeah.
And then after that, this is real. These are scenarios that's real.
Real.
At some point, when you come back and the money's not there, civil unrest ensues.
What was that? Really? What's that movie that you said you like that coming out Christmas? It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. We've shown that. We've shown the It's a Wonderful Life clips where you have a run on the bank, and what you found, I love that because it showed so much truth about the real banking system. This was a savings and loan. Do you know that the savings and loans were all swallowed up by the banks, and they actually picked up their savings and loan process? Whereas when you borrow money or you even put money in the bank, it's just like a savings and loan.
Yeah.
So even your checking works that way.
Yeah.
So if they don't have it to fill, they have to create limits, which every bank has recently done since COVID.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've lowered the limits. You can put an unlimited amount in. Can you imagine? I put $10,000 in the bank, but I can only get out I can get $500 a day up to $2,000 a week. Check your banks. We've been telling you that.
Some of that, yes.
Check the policies on your bank. It's called the withdrawal limits. Look at either your app or go to your bank's website and look at your withdrawal limits for your account.
But it's funny if you think about, at least from my card said, and I thought it was really funny. My card, I had to just replace it recently. My debit card says I can spend up to $1,500 a day. Up to $1,500 a day. And I can take out $5,000. I went to the ATM just to go test the theory. This is the experience I had. I looked, the machine still says the same thing. But when you put in, I'd like to take out if you put 5,000 in there, it comes up automatically. $1,500 limit removal from machine at any time. So I figured, okay, I'd do it twice.
Mm-hmm.
You've exceeded your limit.
Thank you.
You have exceeded your limit.
His own money.
Right.
Wait, how am I exceeding my limit?
We asked.
But they'll write you. I'm sorry, but they will write you a cashier's check. But they will wait. You would have to wait 3 days to get your cashier's check.
Wait, where you cashing that at?
No, it hasn't.
You gonna give me a cashier's check?
You got to take it to a bank
You
that'll
get it from
accept
where
it.
though? Where am I getting that from? Who's cashing that check? It's a bank. I'm at the bank. I need my cash. You're supposed to have my cash.
So here's some practical things that people can do.
Yes.
I would recommend, if it was, I always use myself as an example. If it was me, as an example, not financial advice, just if this was I'm in this situation and it's me.
Yes.
I would take all of my money out of retirement,
Mm-hmm.
out of the stock market. I would possess that cash, and then I would convert it into a digital asset of my choosing, so that I could control my value instead of being subjected to not being able to control when you need access to your cash.
Yep.
Right. The second thing that people can do: get away from Chase, get away from Bank of America,
Yeah.
get away from Wells Fargo, bank with your local banks, get one of the strongest credit unions in your region,
Mm-hmm.
put your money there. Why? Because credit unions operate differently than banks.
Okay.
Credit unions have, it's a credit and it's a union, right? So people have money inside of that credit union have a vote.
That's right.
So because of that voting system, right, the quality of assets that a credit union borrows against is much higher in a lot of cases than national banks.
Wow.
That's right, because like
Yeah.
I bank with a local credit union here, which is Day Air Credit Union, and they do give us like a lot of voting powers and stuff like that. Because because Right Pat, they have a bankership with Right Pat Credit Union also is here too.
Mm.
Yeah, it's I could say I really could say that credit union is better than having a bank, because I did have Wells Fargo and I was not happy. I was not a happy customer.
Yeah, we just got a note from Chase because we run our business accounts through Chase, and they had a pretty good deal. We used to have the old bank, one of their, I forget the name of the bank that they switched from, and it was a great deal. You know, I had maintained my business account with transactions. We got two free checking accounts for ourselves, and of course it kept our business account for free. No problem, right?
I'm gonna go back and win.
Gotta know that.
You gotta
I'm waiting for mine in the mail.
Yeah.
You gotta understand what these words start talking about with these banks and what's going on around you with finances, especially like what's a trust. Especially come to the bankers club, particular bank call on Sunday. You learn about how you can start a trust within yourself and your family.
Yeah, family. Yep. Because that's the fact of it all is like I said, we have not been taught this. This is not information that we're taught. You must teach yourself. We can't go back in history and worry about what didn't happen. Just acknowledge now and step forward a new way. This is why this information is being made available. This is why P2G exists. This is why BTC King has been shouting from the rafters, get your tail into crypto. Because this world of the dollar has been dying for some time. And he's made it so that others can become a part of it and make it available. And so I'm excited because that partnership has been amazingly fruitful. I'm looking forward to it. And brother, you got to come hang out with us on the I know it's late, but we need you to hang out with us one night on crypto in your business. That platform is.
I hope to see brother BTC King, my friend, Mr. Dunkin.
Oh boy.
At the P2G launch party.
Oh yes.
He will speak.
Oh yes, the 16th.
I hope he come and grace us with his presence on the platform, because I will slide over and let you have the floor. I will slide over.
I will be in touch with you. I have some folks that I'm putting on our roster because we want to make sure all of our partnerships are reflected properly.
Yep. And
it is going to be a phenomenal event. It's on the 16th. We sent out invitations, which we had to update because the website launch has got pushed back 2 weeks, just giving us that much more time to fill this bad boy out. I'm really excited. So, and I have my own challenge right now. We have the Bitcoin Works challenge.
Yes, yes.
So
Right.
we are now allowing people to earn a possible $100 in Bitcoin.
Oh, wow.
Proving that Bitcoin works. And so it's two winners, and it's $100 worth of Bitcoin. And what happens is, or someone gets 100, or one winner and someone gets 100.
Oh, we're
Follow the instructions. And so we put it out to let everybody know that, you know, we've already been proven. It's been proven for us. We're just trying to show you a way that's safe. You know, you don't have to be indebted to this process. You can do it and have the proof that it works and get in the game for yourself. And even win some funds, just learning how to follow instructions and pay attention to your own money. I'm having fun with this. Why can I do this? Because crypto paid, baby.
Yes, it does. I can't even complain. I've been making money on this through some stuff that we learned early when we started crypto, and all I do is let it sit and let it revolve over and over and over and over and over and over and.
This new space that is the blockchain, that is DeFi, which is fintech, has come in to create all new opportunities. And it's not rocket science, which is awesome because I don't have time for that stuff. I don't have any time for, you know, intricate learning processes. I get to come in and learn from the masters and sit at their feet and say, hey, all of this stuff they throw out at me, I get to choose which one I would like to take advantage of. I don't have to do everything. There's no requirements. D. Duncan doesn't go, you do it this way. Hutch D doesn't go, you do it that way. Hutch D goes, there are 52 coins and all of them are making money. Pick.
My advice is you might want to go get yourself some Uniswap if you're in Wisconsin.
Yo, brother Hutch, I don't know about all of that. I got that, but I got my eye on the TEL.
Stop.
I got my mind on the TEL because it's about to do something.
This is not a coin conversation for those guys. Look, let's get it for sure. We got our Facebook watchers are on. Our YouTube watchers. We want to thank you all for coming and hopping on. We are not here to keep you all day. We are to let you know if you want to hear this conversation, this coin conversation go on. Rapping Crypto at 9 o'clock. Get on TV. If you're on the YouTube, then you know how to get there. If you don't, get on YouTube, P2G TV, P2G Networks TV, and you got it. 9 o'clock. You can't miss it. Now,
Brother D.
That's what I was going to say.
For the people, can you at least say that this debt ceiling has been going on since we've been taken off the gold standard since 1970? Am I correct?
Now. Since before. She said 1960s they've been raising the debt ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Since before, it has only accelerated.
78 times this debt ceiling has been raised, and it's like,
come on.
This is the last thing I'll say. Have you noticed when you go to the bank and you talk to the teller, excuse me.
It's okay.
You talk to the manager, you talk to the banker, and it always just seems that they have an employee mindset, that they don't really know exactly what they're doing.
Thank you.
They got a book.
What if I told y'all that is very same thing is happening in politics?
Yes. Say it again, my brother.
Meaning these people are so accustomed to raising the debt ceiling that they don't really understand the impact that has.
No.
It's what they see as part of doing business.
No, and that's why she mentioned it's been raised 76 times. 78 times. So explaining that this is how we do it.
This is a tradition now, right?
Exactly.
It's a tradition, and when you have those strong of a tradition, it takes a lot to break that.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of politicians, if you really listen to them, they don't know what they're doing. They just got elected and they're glad to be at the seat, at the table. It's like being in an employment position. You get a high ranking position in a company. Doesn't necessarily mean you have the cognitive awareness of what it takes to be at that table. So when somebody tells you to do X, you're just going to do it because you want to stay seated
in
at
your
the
position.
table.
Exactly.
That's exactly what's happening in Washington, D.C.
Exactly. Right now, we have a bunch of new incumbents that just came in, Democrat. And this is, look, I hate to say, I hate to connect movies to actual life, but we've watched shows where you see the politics of how it all works. And with it,
Right.
you see the newest guy, and he's got to connect to the senator. This new delegate connect to the senator who knows better. I'll tell you how it works. Don't worry, we'll walk you through this. We'll just follow us, and we'll tell you how it works because you're new. And these young guys are just happy that they were voted in, and they're here in Washington, D.C., in these wonderful Capitol buildings, and they're in these important places that it says that it's amazing status that you here, and you don't want to lose this. Great opportunity. You represent your people.
No,
but in
you don't.
actuality, you don't. You find out at the other end, all that stuff that got you here, it doesn't exist anymore. Now you've entered politics. Now you've gotten on the job. So you took the interview. You jumped through the hoops to qualify. And once you qualified, guess what, baby? Now you got to come to training. Training is so old that it has not updated. That's why when we were talking about Janet Yellen and not understanding crypto and coming at crypto like it was a regular exchange and these were the same assets, boo-boo, that chick did not understand what she was talking about then. But I bet you she's going, hold on a second. We need to figure out how to pay for this now. And and this dollar thing ain't working. I just got proven we hitting the ceiling again. And that crypto thing's got some money in it, which is why they wrote a new law. When they snuck in that lovely book of new laws for infrastructure that they made sound really good, but they slid under how they was going to pay for it with that thing that Janet Yellen was telling everybody was it was a hoax and it was dangerous. So now we're going to get that to pay for us.
Now all those DEX formats that in all these banks, the quote on decentralized exchanges, no, they're not decentralized. They're centralized with the auspices of being centralized. There's the DAX.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, I sent my mother-in-law that video of Janet Yellen, and she the first thing she complained was the last administration.
Well, people are always gonna. What do they say? It's when you're grieving. When they talk about loss, stages.
I gave her straight facts. I told her it's like it's been going this way since the gold standard got taken away from us, and we got this petrodollar. And with this petrodollar, it's not a good thing with this oil standard because we just seen oil hit $0 last year.
Dang it! I wish I got some.
Negative.
No, negative. I'm sorry, negative.
It actually went negative. Like I just said, I could have got paid. But look, I'm gonna share something with you all. Really, what we're bringing, this whole panel is bringing is perspective. What can we do about this? And Dee just said that. He said what's available. But my question is, how long you going to act like you don't know? How long you going to act like, you're scared or something you won't get real information on? How long will you be in a state that you're not willing to change by changing your mind? People are so afraid to change. Oh my God. You will hold on to the very thing that's killing you.
Yeah.
And Alvin, I'm afraid that you were incorrect when you said it was Marcus Slate Bay. It actually was Damon who said, if you let the government feed your family, you will let them starve your family.
Okay.
Because the fact of the matter is, who's responsible for feeding them in the first place?
You.
Yeah.
Who feeds you?
You.
And the fact is, they know that. They know that. And if you don't know that the buck will stop, you will be a result when it does of what happens. So come fish with us because we're teaching people to fish. We ain't feeding nobody. I'm not giving away information. If you don't come to class, you don't have the info. That's on you. Me and mine will eat. If you don't go to, go on YouTube and start looking up alternatives like I did once upon a time. That's how I got my first wallet in Bitcoin. I know what the hell I was doing. I went on YouTube. Okay. Someone says there's an app for that. And then the other person said there's a YouTube too. I went on YouTube. YouTube told me what the app was. And I got on Coinbase the first time ever in my life. And I acquired cryptocurrency. I'm not telling y'all to do that. You have
BTC King
that I didn't have. Yeah. You have two in this room alone. Okay.
You can come right here. Come right up to the P2G network. We'll get you your first
You have two. You have BTC King, his direct website. Contact me on P2G networks. You have so many ways. And for my business owners, I have to put this out here. I'm being crazy straight. If you ain't in crypto, you're about to go out of business and you really don't know why. You're about to have to close your doors. You can't get a loan. They're not giving credit cards because you don't qualify. You already owe money. No problem, honey. And you're not doing anything with the money that you're making other than paying bills. So you are already running on a zero debt. You're running on zero. Your GDP to debt ratio is kind of high too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's get out of that state. Turn every dollar that makes you a dollar into some money that's gonna flip. Because that American dollar has been dying for a long time. We just showed you the thing that backs it, that debt clock. Run this video back. See what we're talking about. BTC, you want to say something? Yes.
I'm gonna let you know you can eat candy
I want one.
and get assets.
Huh?
You can get candy and get actual assets.
I can't get none. They don't ran out. I want
send me a box. How much in the box?
Ladies and
They're not
gentlemen,
selling them. Crypto candies. You get cryptocurrency. You get
Wow.
crypto for buying candy. Win free crypto inside.
We've come a long way.
Yes, they have.
It's funny. We used to talk about mining. We used to mine gold in the field. Then we went to mining on, when we did transactions in cryptocurrency. Now everybody's mining on their phone. Now we're mining in candy packets. We mining crypto on candy. Really? That's just how we've gone. Geo mining, now candy mining. Wow. Candyland.
And I went back to the same store this weekend and he was like, we sold out. I was like, I know you are.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get them now. Don't start me up. I'm trying to get me some.
Congratulations.
Right. Yes.
Shouts out to Candy Corn. Make sure y'all make me a brand ambassador, Candy Corn. I need that.
Candy.
What I would say is,
I got you. Thank you, because I was fine. The candy.
I would say just everybody prioritize financial literacy in your everyday life.
Thank you. Yes.
The intimidation factor of words that we're not familiar with should not deter us from learning new things, new words. Yeah. It's good. We don't stop learning just because we're out of school. We constantly learn, whether it's, situations in life that we're not familiar with, songs we never heard of, but we learn the words anyway. It's no different. You have to be open to learning this new vocabulary. And when you do, life is about options. Assets is about options. That's right. And when you have both, you can begin to build your way to economic freedom.
That's right. So you don't all have to run away from home to be free. As a matter of fact, you should be building freedom where you are all the time. Because you have options. You just have to learn some new words you didn't know before.
That's it.
And now you have resources. So come learn with us. All right, everybody.
Also, come tune in.
Out of here.
One more thing. Come tune in tonight on Rap Crypto and find out how can you win your own bag of candy.
I want to know. Love it. I want some.
Well, Hutch, I want you to know I'm currently on the site. I'm going to order my own candy. I can't get
I love it. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been P2G News, basically it's a news minute in the afternoon. And we come together when things are really important and big and changing in the world, knowing that our communities will miss it. They don't put it where we watch. They only let us see it after it happens to us.
After it happens.
Not here, not today. From your hood, from my hood to your hood, this is the information that you'll be getting. And this is love on the internet. We'll see you guys. Thank you all. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Don't forget, they're all available. Those names right there, check them out on the web because that's where they're at. Peace.
Yes.